Vlad Ethereum Classic.
What's up, gentlemen, capital gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. What is happening with total cryptocurrency liquidity? What's happening with cryptocurrency liquidity in terms of altcoins? What's the next 100x play? And how are we going to answer these questions? Let's get. Goddamn. Trying to be over professional. Fucking no. Seriously. We're going to answer all these questions today on Capital Gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a good day. Um, we had some CPI data today coming in lower than expected, which should be bullish for a Fed pause. Um, Let me just go to my notifications and we can. It's the Kobolesi letter or some shit. Just go to the. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I mean, like I could pull up legitimate sources, but like I'm not doing that shit. So, but anyways, so here is CPI data. uh, CPI core inflation fell to 4.0%. About what is that? What is that? 100 basis points or no, it's not 100. I forgot how many basis points that is, but regardless, fell by 0.1%. Fell by 0.1%. Um, this could be good for a Fed pause if they continue to do a pause. But I feel like if we continue to see either sticky inflation or if we hit like a surprise reversal, um I feel like they could include a rate hike, but I really don't want them to. But a pause seems in play, based upon what they said at the last meeting. But they can always surprise, so we're just trying to make sure that they're not going to do that, because that's at this point the economy's already wrecked. They just want their logistical numbers, so realistically they can get to the point of finding out whether inflation is going to come roaring back, um or if they actually have it under control, because Jerome Powell doesn't want to seem like a Paul Volcker. However that shit played out, I'm trying to summarize it real quick, but I think it was on the lines of like they did all the QT, and basically that shit was pointless, and then the inflation was either as worse, or even it was either as bad as when they started or either worse than when they started. I can make a whole separate video on that, but that's besides the point. um so we're just gonna dive into one thing I want to talk about is bonk token. I just made a video on that. um just real quick, because this isn't going to be the main thing the video is about. The thesis here is on bonk. I made a short post about it already. The thesis here on bonk, the narrative. um What's the narrative on bonk? Top meme coin on Sol, potential leading meme coin 2025 on Sol. Doge Solana narrative may continue to track Solana price action. Decent non-forced meme, because here's the thing: a lot of these memes are forced as fuck. Like you see that Grok shit. Like, it's not the fact that that was a scam. It's the fact like that wasn't even a fucking popular meme. That's just motherfuckers trying to rinse for exit liquidity. Lockheed Martin was kind of funny actually, but it was never, because this meme is more like a 2016 type era meme. That's the only reason why this bitch is still relevant, because it's all imprinted in our minds. The Doge, the dog, the doggo, whatever the fuck dog be like. I don't know how to. I forgot. I kind of forgot. The way the meme is structured, but you get what I'm saying. It's a different version of what is already shown to been successful. So I don't understand why people are questioning it as much. Um, I mean, I get why people are questioning it. They're forgetting how high these meme coins can actually run. But keep in mind, Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu, the basically the Ethereum version of Doge. Because if you guys don't know, Doge is its own chain, but Shiba Inu is the Doge the Doge Sheep. So it's kind of like a combination between Doge and Sheep because it's like the first of its kind on the chain, but it is kind of replicating a narrative that is already played out. So it's like a combination between Doge and Sheep, in my opinion. But you look at the market cap, bro. Like it's she. Don't get me wrong. She kind of like overplayed. Like I heard they've been messing up. Heard the dude don't care, something like that. I don't really know. I don't really care that much. But point being, when she was basically all the way back here, oh no, people didn't start really tracking Sheep until way later. Oh wait, no, is it volume? No, this is insiders. This is insiders easily. This is easily insiders. Actually, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. But point being, um, I'm just saying, look at the run up and look at what we're trying to work with here. We're trying to work with $100 million market cap, $110 million market cap on a chain, some people are complaining about the FTX TVL damage on Solana, and my thing is just because it was started differently doesn't mean it's in a worse off position. Just because the exact same thing was facilitated, not necessarily like example, like would Solana really be viewed as bad if let's say the FTX scandal supported Cosmos more than Solana? Like people like I think people would just be shitting on Cosmos more. That's just my opinion. Um you know what I'm saying? Like you can complain about the marketing and everything, but the fact that it survived and the fact that it's like still here, that says a lot. But the TVL is increasing, and the thesis is as the market continues, because people forgetting that Ethereum had its bear market in TVL in 2018 and 2019, and it ran up and it ran back down. So people acting like they're holding this to a whole new standard of like this bitch has the flat line or something. Like even if we didn't have the whole FTX shit, even before that, we still dropped 90%. So I don't know what people are talking about, but thesis is we get to let's say, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I think we maybe top out at 70 billion TVL, but some of that TVL would rotate into this token. And you already know the TVL increase is going to happen if you truly believe that Soul can reach a price of $500. I was in that camp. I've been in that camp since $24. I know I'm kind of late to the train, but not really. When you think about it, nobody really gave a fuck to buy a 24, 23, 22 because they all wanted to buy sub 20. And that's still technically early. Sub 30 is an amazing price if you look back. Notice what I've noticed is people don't want to buy sub 30 anymore. People want to buy in the mid 40s. So I can say gladly that I'm fucking early. Straight up. Straight up. Like I fumbled a fair amount of Solana before this pump. I'm not going to hold you. But that was a lesson I had to fucking learn. This pump made me get it all back. And not only this, new opportunity with this play over here because I had to. I feel like sometimes in the crypto markets, something has to happen to your core position a little bit for you to get a little bit creative, not take too much risk, but actually don't take for granted for the opportunities in front of you when you see particular plays that are at low valuations in front of you that you just ignore because you have a little bit extra money versus you don't have that. Not saying you want to lose that. If you can see opportunities without seeing money, great. But, to make the best out of my situation, seeing that this and the potential and the narrative and actually hearing about it after the pump, after I was already in Solana, but I wasn't looking at the ecosystem. Like I was looking at the ecosystem, but I thought I had more time and that's not guaranteed. So I was like, you know what? Let me take a shot at the ecosystem. Like but I was thinking about more secure plays like MNDE and Orca, not meme coin plays. But I didn't think about Bonk actually. Like I kind of heard about it. I kind of knew it was there. but a part of me was just like, nah. But it's still not too late. It's still early. It's still early. Because we're not talking about, oh, like, like it would be cool. Like most people didn't get in. Let's be for real, below like sub 5 million, right? Like, and even the people that got in sub five, like you're a minority of people. So as the price goes up, there's going to be higher distribution. So you know, yeah, we got a long road to 1 bill, but from what I've heard is the road to 100 mil to 1 bill is going to be harder than from 1 mil, no 1 bill to 10 bill, which actually kind of makes sense. So yeah, because once it hits 1 bill, people are going to be like, okay, what the fuck, and then they're going to get in, and then the FOMO is going to kick in, kind of like how it did. Once it hit 100 mil, it's still floating around. It's not really going that low unless something happens to the price of Sol. And even then, when Sol recovers, like we're good. But moving past this, think this to 10 billion, 100x opportunity. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the thesis. Made a video on that. It's completely separate, but go check that out in the description if you want to go see that video. So now we're going to go get into the total. We're going to talk about total two. Total. We'll start off with total one, just so we go in order. But let me get the journal out. All right, so we have total one here. So if we look at the charts, we go down, bit, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Total one weekly time frame. Um, we're looking at a breakout of the range, basically starting at 1.36 trillion, breakout of the range, um, finding resistance way before, but honestly, at this point, it can really continue higher as long as liquidity continues to be displaced in the right places. But this is mostly led by Bitcoin, obviously. Um, but it can easily test a 50% retracement. But this is a breakout from a 76-week range, so that's pretty important. Um, Gaussian channel breakout, so that's important for cryptocurrency liquidity. So this is all brand new liquidity uh, that we haven't seen enter in the past 76 weeks. So when people say that this isn't a slight bull market, I say anything out of range for our total cryptocurrency market cap could be considered as a transitory bull market period. I mean, this entire move since the bottom, technically, that was the start of the bull. Technically, if you want to get real fucking technical. But this is total cryptocurrency market cap, and not every altcoin bottomed around this time. Um, like Algorand bottomed over here and shit. Like that's an example. But just total cryptocurrency market cap really started the uptrend was down here. Didn't see it really forming until really about here, and that's when it became potential what's it called, speculation on the move. But like I was saying, I mean that entire move though, um, you're not gonna know until after that stuff happens. You can't because I mean, to be honest, you had a fairly decent bearish case on the downside based upon the last cycle history. So that's kind of why like a lot of people didn't expect that. I didn't expect this either. But regardless, moving into the new trend, we're seeing a green flip on the Gaussian channel on top of that. So that is signifying a bull market. I don't know why people are sitting around here acting like this isn't a bullish signal right here. This is a pretty big bullish signal when you see green flip and a breakout. So if we see continuation or a support retest, like I don't know what people are talking about. Maybe not for alts necessarily, but we're about to get into that. But we're also looking for a monthly close above that level, and it's currently doing that. So if we really get a monthly close, and this isn't just a wick, then we get confirmation of a breakout, and that we want to see continuation, retest, or retest immediately, then continuation. However that plays out, that doesn't really matter too much, but we first got to get that close, or else that other stuff doesn't matter. Total too. So for altcoins, we're really stuck in this range. We've been stuck here for a minute, like for literally. Um, Let me see. We could put it like 19, no, 19 months. 19, 19 months, bro. Yeah, we've been stuck here for 19 months. So nothing has really changed. The only thing that I'm going to bring up is that this rally is different within the range. Cuz every time we rallied, it was underneath the bull market support band or briefly got above it, not too far, and then failed to hold. But if we see a retest, or we just keep going with continuation, then that's a bullish signal. But then you have to include a Gaussian channel in the mix, and then we see that there's not a green flip, but we're testing the upper line. So the last time that happened in the exit, of a bear market, we go back to the 2019 cycle. Um, and we chopped around briefly sideways for not even briefly, just we just chopped around sideways for about 65 weeks. You could call it 64 before we break out. And then the cycle before that, I'm not even going to zoom in, but 31. But that was in 2015. Um, so right now, technically, we could continue, but I feel like it would be too short. Like I don't think, because maybe not even too short, because there's so much liquidity and attention on the space this time. It just needs to play out. It's either going to be one or two options. We go sideways or we break out, but not. I don't think we're going to see too much aggressive continuation as soon as people want to see. But the fact that it is testing this channel is pretty relevant. So whenever this either breaks out completely above or goes sideways, I mean, that's still good, because you can still trade above the moving averages within the range, and then you build up that tension for breakout, so that would be more natural instead of forced price action that could be manipulation, because that will require something probably like a short squeeze. Because, but at the same time, it's kind of altcoin season, so maybe not as much manipulation as I'm thinking. But you throw in the 200-week moving average, it's trading above that as of recently. That was one of the final moving averages that it started trading above. Um, there hasn't been any kind of harsh rejection, but no retests around this area. So it's like it's just kind of deciding on the test of upper Gaussian, but then it hasn't retested the 200 weeks. So I don't know how that's going to play out when it does. I mean, if that plays out bad, I would assume that the bull market support band isn't going to hold. But I mean, the way that the market is moving right now, if this continues to actually break out and mimic how Bitcoin dominance is going down, that allows this to go up. There's no argument that Bitcoin dominance has to be topped out quite yet, but it could be like it just starts like I don't know. It could start floating at a lower upper range between like 48 and like 50, but we'll see how that plays out. But that would be a catalyst for this to go up, as if Bitcoin dominance goes down, let more liquidity get in altcoins. But we're going to go right into total three. So the other reason why I'm kind of bullish on the altcoin space right now is, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought this triangle was gonna break to the downside. It was not looking too good over here. It was rejecting off the bull market support band, and then we got a surprise. And then it started heading up these Fibonacci retracement levels, which is kind of the biggest thing that is showing us the generational support or whatever you want to call it over the last basically like because we haven't broken out 77 weeks, right? So that's a long time. But the price action at the time, while I was bearish on this breaking down and retesting even lower valuations like everybody was speculating on, was mostly because this was serving as resistance. It wasn't getting a chance to even test this upper line. So I was like, all right, yeah, like it's gonna break down, but it didn't. So the fact that we finally flipped above the bull market support band is bullish for the altcoin space. It just hasn't broken out of the range on total three for 450 billion, but we have an upside target of 556. So really, we got to see if that's going to play out either by finally getting above the Gaussian channel that is currently stalling out the price, but like not even really. It's just, I mean, it could cool down before it goes, but that's kind of a deciding moment, I'll say. 200 week kind of wick down retest. I mean, that's kind of a sign of strength because you were. I mean, actually, nah. This week just opened. What am I saying? No, it's not. Um, I say like it kind of is, but it isn't at the same time because we're not still down there. But I say if we just close like red but not below like that, and then we open green again, I'd say that's a successful retest. Um, that's I think what we would need to potentially see. The 78.6 though is kind of like resistance, so could break out next week or sideways retracement down. I don't know. There's a lot of ways. It's either going to be sideways up here, like compressed sideways up, or maybe we're getting faked out and then we go like mid band, mid channel for a bit, maybe go back to the median, maybe test 50%. But this is like on the weekly time frame, so you're not going to get all that. All we're getting right now is what's the retest going to be, where's the close, and where's the next open. That's all we had to work with, and then the target. Because if we close bullish, sort of like above the indicators and above the resistance levels, then obviously we're probably seeing a continuation. I doubt we do that for no reason. Um, I think legitimately. Oh no, there's still one more thing. So Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance has been ripping as we know. It's been going to the upside. Found resistance at 54. People keep saying 60%, and my thing is, if you look at Benjamin Cowan's tools, if you've been on his website before, it has already been hit 60% without stablecoins. So my question is, which chart at that point has more integrity? I think the one without stablecoins. So realistically, because TradingView includes stablecoins on here, so I think realistically, if you value the other one, I think we could have already topped out, and now we're going sideways. Um, but if you don't believe that other version to be valid, or you don't have the resources to see it, um, I don't know. You might just have to take take my word. I guess I don't know. Um, but what's on the chart though is we hit 54. I'm just saying my argument is could very well be going sideways to top out and head back down for 2020. I say like we could easily go sideways for like between like maybe like this range, because you don't want to see an altcoin season that quick. That wouldn't make any sense. I say between here and here for like we could go there until like at least like maybe September. Nobody knows. I don't really know. I wouldn't have any experience with time frames in a Bitcoin season because this is still I'm like 3/4 throughout my first cycle, so I can tell you. But based upon previous price history, I'm not that wrong. I'm not that far off. Um, but like yeah, until we come down in a serious manner, there's not really a serious altcoin season. But I say this is kind of like a pre-pump with altcoins because they wouldn't be outperforming Bitcoin right now if it didn't mean anything. I say that probably just bottoming out because if you remember from the 2019 cycle, like Ethereum rallied like 200% off its lows. A lot of these altcoins went 200% off their lows, um, but they still went sideways for some time. So that could still be a case here. But that basically, I think, yeah, that basically is it. What matters the most right now, if you're in altcoins like Solana, Bonk, Orca, Radium, MNDE, um, um, I don't know, Chainlink or ADA, like Trash Token, like that. Um, Maybe like you're in NFTs or something, any speculative crypto asset, whatever. Just this is what you watch out for. Weekly close above the Guardian, weekly close above the 7.8. Um, Total three. That's what I'm looking for, and then continuation or retest of this 200 week or retest of the 61.8 and then a bounce. Like that's kind of what I'm looking for, or just straight up continuation. That's three good scenarios. Um, didn't even talk about momentum, but I'm not because I'm not trying to run out of time. But gentlemen, I think that's it for this video. Um, yeah, I literally think that's it. All right, yeah, make sure you go follow Capital Gentleman Twitter. Um, Post a little bit about this earlier. All right, yeah, I had to edit out a siren, but what I was saying was go to Capital Gentleman Twitter, subscribe over there, and yeah, that's it for this video.